Congratulations! You've just acquired a brand new pool. You're dying to hop into your bathing suit and have your first dip. You're most likely looking forward to learning all the steps necessary to guarantee optimum operation of your new purchase. This is precisely what we will be presenting in this video. Only by having a thorough knowledge of your equipment will you be able to get the most enjoyment out of it. At SEMA, we care about your happiness. Before learning about the operation of the system as a whole, let's have a look at the various parts and equipment that make it up. Of course, there's the pool. The level of the water must be at the middle of the skimmer to use the filtration system. There's a water return on the side. Inside the skimmer, you will find the basket. A little lower, there's the three-way multi-position valve, only if your pool has a bottom drain. The bottom drain is found in the center of the pool's floor. Should your pool not have a bottom drain, the hose from the pump is directly connected to the skimmer by two-way valves. Now, let's have a look at the filtration system, which includes two important parts, the pump and the filter. The pump includes the electric motor, the pump, the strainer, and the pump basket located inside the strainer. The filter has a handle for positioning the various functions. Other filter parts include the selection lever, the pressure gauge, the filter, the return hose, and the water return to the pool. That covers the different parts and equipment of your pool. Let's now have a general look at the filtration system. The pump that operates the system draws the pool water from two different sources, through the bottom drain and through the skimmer. The water is drawn to the pump through the pump basket, then is pushed in the filter and is filtered as it flows through the sand. After all impurities have been removed, the clean water returns to the pool through the water return. And that was a general overview of the filtration system. P.S. For the initial startup, or if the sand has just been replaced in the filter, be sure to activate the system by placing the dial valve lever in the backwash position to eliminate the dirt in the sand. If this is the case, learn in details the steps of a backwash function. We've now seen the various pieces of equipment and have a better knowledge of the general operation of the filtration system. Let's have a closer look at how the filter works and learn to use each of the 7 functions available. These 7 functions are accessible through the dial valve lever located at the top of the filter. 1. By turning the dial lever, you can select the filter function. 2. Rinse. 3. Recirculate. 4. Backwash. 5. Closed. 6. Waste. 7. The winterized or closed position, which is not a real function but is used for winterizing the filter. For the sake of argument, we will use the description of the most usual functions. When the dial valve lever is in the filter position, the main function, the pump draws the water from the pool to the dial valve. Then it is filtered through the sand, leaving any debris at the surface of the sand. Once filtered, the water goes up through the center before returning to the pool through the water return. Eventually, and especially if the water contains a lot of debris, the sand will become dirty. This will increase the pressure in the filter, and it will indicate that it is time to clean the sand. This is called a backwash. This is where the pressure dial comes into play. The first time you turn on your filter, check the position of the needle on the pressure dial. The number indicated by the needle is the standard pressure of your filtration system. If, for example, the needle indicated 10, you'll have to wait until it indicates 5 degrees more, or 15, before going ahead with the backwash. If the needle indicates 12, you must wait until it reads 17, and so on. To do a backwash, first turn the pump switch to the off position. The pump must always be stopped before changing the function lever to another position. With the pump stopped, turn the dial valve lever to backwash and install the backwash hose by placing one end where you want the water to flow out. Restart the pump. This time, the water drawn by the pump will first be drawn through the middle of the filter, go through the sand, cleaning it at the same time, then flow through the backwash hose and come out the other end. At first, you'll notice the water coming out of the hose is dirty. That's normal. You must continue the backwash operation until the water runs clear. Some filters are equipped with a small bottle that is part of the dial valve. allowing you to see the color of the water without having to check the water coming out of the end of the backwash hose. Following this 1 to 2 minute operation, the water is clean, the backwash done. Stop the pump and turn the dial valve lever to the rinse position. Why rinse? Because during the backwash, all the sand gathers in the dial valve. And if we were to return to the filter position, all the sand and dirt brought into the valve would flow back into the pool. The rinse function is there for you to rinse the dial valve. With the dial valve lever in the rinse position, restart the pump. Water will come out the other end of the hose, but this time for only 30 seconds, after which the filter dial valve will be clean. Stop the pump. Put the dial valve lever back to the filter position, and that's it. The rinse is done. The sand has been cleaned and the pressure will return to its original level. We've now learned about 3 functions. The 4th function is drain. This function is used after a heavy rainfall, for example, or when the water level in the pool is too high and you'd like to lower it. So, without forgetting to, first, stop the pump, turn the lever to drain. Don't forget to install your backwash hose. Restart the pump. The water will then be drawn to the dial valve without going through the sand and come out the other end of the backwash hose. Check whether the water level has returned to normal and stop the pump. The drain function is also used at the beginning of the season when you want to use the vacuum to clean the pool of large debris accumulated at the bottom of the pool, or when the pool is extra dirty. If we carry out the operation in the filter position, all the dirt will be drawn directly into the sand and will clog it, requiring a backwash. When you vacuum in the drain position, the dirt is drawn up and removed without being filtered through the sand. The drain function may also be used to remove any algae that may have gathered at the bottom of the pool after an algae treatment. Once the draining is completed, stop the pump and put the dial valve lever back to the filter position. The 5th function is whirlpool. This function is rarely used. It is used to circulate the water to the dial valve, then from the dial valve to the pool without going through the sand. P.S. This function is mainly used for specific water treatment. The function allows you to check if the breakage of certain dial valve parts is causing sand to accumulate at the bottom of the pool. To carry out this check, start by thoroughly cleaning the bottom of the pool. Place the dial valve lever in the whirlpool position and then start the pump. Let it operate in this position overnight. The next morning, any sand at the bottom of the pool will indicate that it is no doubt being transported by the kids or the wind, because in the whirlpool position, the water does not come in contact with the sand in the filter. As already seen, the 6th function is the storage or the winterize or close position. It is used to protect the dial valve seal during the filter storage period. To carry out the storage operation, press down on the dial valve lever and turn it to winterize. This will increase the seal's lifespan. The sand in the filter has a lifespan of about 3 years. We now understand the 5 main filter functions and know how the winterizing operation is done. Now let's have a look at the skimmer valve operation and bottom drain. Position fermé or closed is used primarily to clean the strainer basket. At any time, you must turn off the pump power to avoid damage. For the operation of the valve multi-position and bottom drain. In our overview of the filtration system, we saw that the pump draws water from 2 sources, the bottom drain and the skimmer. In some installations, the hose going back to the pump is that one, but we will be using this one for now. This is where the 3-way valve comes into play. This valve allows you to select the skimmer water inlet, the bottom drain inlet, or both simultaneously. For example, when you use the vacuum with full suction power concentrated on it to clean the bottom of the pool or to pick up any surface dirt, close the bottom drain. This indicates that the small check valve located inside, in this case, is closing off the bottom drain inlet. This way, all of the pump suction power is concentrated on the skimmer. If, however, you want to drive out the sand that has accumulated around the bottom drain, turn the valve until the arrow is pointing towards the skimmer. In this position, the check valve closes the skimmer inlet and 100% of the pump's power is concentrated on the bottom drain. When not using the vacuum, place the valve in the center position, to this side, as shown, to allow the pump to distribute its suction power 50-50. However, if you center the valve in the center position, but on the other side, like this, no water will be reaching the pump. If by mistake a child or an uninformed adult places the valve in this position with the pump in operation, this will damage the pump. The pump always requires water when it is in use. One way to make sure is to put your hand in front of the water return in the pool and check if there is pressure from the water returning to the pool. In regard to the maintenance of the baskets, we have already seen that the basket of the skimmer is used to collect larger debris. To clean the basket and get rid of debris, remove the skimmer basket, shake slightly to empty and put into place. The strainer basket of the pump collects the smallest particles. To clean it is a bit trickier. First, turn off the pump. Then, turn the multifunction valve to the closed position and set the selector valve of the filter to closed. Now, you can unscrew the lid of the pump to remove the basket inside it. Rinse well to rid the debris it contains before replacing it. You can then replace the lid and restart the pump. Let's now learn how to use the vacuum that is supplied with your pool maintenance equipment. If you have a bottom drain, it cannot gather the dirt that is outside of its reach or around the sides of the pool. This is where the vacuum comes in handy. First, place the multifunction valve in position half skimmer, half drain, and place the adapter at one end of the hose and connect the other end of the sweeper head to the telescopic pole. Place everything at the bottom of the pool, keeping one end of the pole and one end of the hose in your hand. Place the end of the hose in front of the water return and allow the water pressure to remove the air trapped inside the hose. When you see no more bubbles coming out of the vacuum head, you know that all the air has been removed from the hose. Keep the end of the hose underwater to stop any air from getting inside the hose and quickly connect it to the skimmer adapter. Do not forget to replace the dial valve lever to the bottom drain position in order to get the maximum efficiency of the vacuum. After cleaning, check the filter pressure to make sure it is not the time to wash the sand. Before viewing this section, we recommend you listen to the previous sections to familiarize yourself with your filtration equipment. This section explains the characteristics of the filtration system EcoPure. This system is designed to filter the pool water after passing through sand filter. The filter cartridge is much more powerful in filtration capacity. This double filtration optimizes the quality of water since it is filtered twice. For its use, the EcoPure requires that you place the function of your sand filter into position filtre or filter so that the water previously filtered by your filter sand passes through the filter cartridge is then found in your pool. The first time you turn your system on, check the positioning of the needle dial pressure. The figure indicated by the needle is the standard pressure of your EcoPure. To clean the cartridge located inside the filter, we recommend that you clean your filter cartridge every week. We must first put the pump switch mode to arrêt or off, then move the function of the sand filter to the position fermé or closed to stop the flow of water. Do not worry. The water cannot come back because the filter cartridge provided has a check valve located inside the filter. However, the valve is not accessible but keeps on working. Despite a weekly cleaning, you will notice over time that pressure on the dial will tend to increase slightly. Once it has risen by 5 degrees, you're ready to do a more thorough cleaning cartridge by adding in water mixed with the cleaner specific to it. Once the cleaning is complete, replace the cartridge inside the filter and close the lid firmly. Subsequently, ensure to put the sand filter in the filtre or filter position and return the pump switch to on. The system will be ready to go. Have a nice swim.